Hi guys, today I'm going to show you, basically we're going to make a little application that's going to be able to find all the processes that are currently running on your Windows system, and we're going to be able to stop the processes, of course the ones that we are allowed to stop, and we're also going to try to start processes. And you'll find that you're going to learn a lot from this as we just go through everything. We're going to be using a couple buttons, a start and a stop button, a little text box. This will be for the start button so that we can provide it the process name. That's going to be the only kind of weird part because we can't really identify a process unless it's running. We could do something like we could always record as we bring in the processes that we know we're running. We could record them for later in case they stop and we might want to start them again. But this is probably the easiest way to do it right now. And then this is I think it's a list view. Look at the properties. Yeah, it's a list view. And this is where we're going to be storing the currently running processes. So I think we should start out with something easy. So let's start out with the start process button. So we're just going to double click that to create that. And this is called start text box. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get the text from that. Excuse me. Easy stuff. Okay. Now, C# is useful because it provides a process object that we can use to basically retrieve the process. It basically stores all the process information that we need. And we're going to basically create a new one, and we're going to provide it with things like the file name and stuff like that, and we're going to start it. So let's go ahead and do that. And as I do this, it's going to yell at me because I have not provided a using statement, but we're going to do that after there. So we're going to make a notepad process. Make sure to mouse over here when you see this little red. Look down here, and we're going to be using system.diagnostics, which provides us access to this process class. Okay. Now, so we have this notepad. Right now, it doesn't have any information about the actual notepad, so that's what we're going to have to give it. So we just do notepad dot, I think I have my caps lock key on. And you can see that there's a bunch of different things that we can do to it. Most of this stuff is probably, I don't really understand, but there's some interesting things like kill, start, that we're going to have to use later. And the one thing we have to do is start info, which provides us the properties such as the file name. And we're going to give it, if any of you know the file name to Notepad, it's just simply notepad.exe. It's kind of the same way if you I don't know, you can't really see this right now, but I've opened up my start menu in my run, and if I just type in notepad.exe into my run, it opens up. So we're going to be using that pretty much the same way. You could say that that run is basically what we're creating now, so we're maybe creating a run menu right now. And we can also pass it other things in start info. Let's see what else we have. Environmental variables, not entirely sure what that would be. Directories, temporary files, search paths. Probably arguments would be something like, I don't know if you guys know something like, for example, like the Half-Life 2 .exe is used to open all source games. I don't know if you guys play games or not. But basically, they all use the hl2.exe, and based on what game they want to play, say if they want to play CSS, it'll provide them an argument that's CSS. That's pretty much how it works, but it's all run through one exe that, even though it might be a different exe, it's all, I mean, it follows that argument idea. Arguments are basically things you pass to the, basically the main statement of a program that it then parses and figures out what to do. So I don't think we really need arguments right now, but we're just going to give it like a fake one. Let's just give it like quackware. Yeah, that's a good argument. I don't think it'll really, it might actually, if you give Notepad an argument, it could paste that text in that we gave it, but we're going to figure out if that's actually what it does. Oops, and we don't want to put this here. We want to give it text. What am I thinking? So this wouldn't actually be a Notepad process, it would just be process. I was looking at a different tutorial I saw earlier that uses Notepad. I apologize for that. And I don't know what this arguments will do for other programs, but let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so I have my program. Let's give it notepad.exe, hit start. Aha, I cannot find the quackery.txt file, so that's what the arguments does. Ugh, excuse me. So let's go ahead and get rid of that for safeness. Computer a little laggy. I'm getting a new hard drive, solid state soon, so hopefully this stuff will be easier. Notepad.exe, open up Notepad. Cool. I don't know what else we can give it. mspaint.exe, I think that's valid. Start. Yep, cool. So we are able to open up processes if we know the names of them. I don't really want to open up like a game or something because that might destroy this video. But that part's done. So we also want to be able to read in the list of processes. Excuse me. So we're probably going to want to do that as soon as this loads. So let's just, in order to do like a form 1 on load kind of method where you can put things in that'll execute as soon as this loads, we just double click, say, like the menu bar, and it'll create that code. And for this, we want to get all the processes that are running in the system. So in order to do that, we use this process class, but we're going to want an array of the processes. We can just call it process list or process array. And then we do process, and we use the a static method of the process called get processes. And this will get the process object for each process. We can also use, looks like there's another thing called get process by name and get process by ID. I think we have to pass it things like the ID or the name and things like that. But we're just going to get processes, open, close. And this will get all the processes in the list, and it'll store it in this array. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint in here. We're going to run this, and maybe you guys can see what's running on my machine right now. Looks like I have 79 processes running. Ooh, my notepad's running. Sidebar, I believe this is my antivirus, my Steam, Google Update. You guys could see everything that's running on my computer. That's a little bit scary. Malwarebytes. Camtasia, that's what I'm recording with. Woohoo! Oh, Process Starter, that's our program. Yay! So we know it's running. But yeah, that's pretty much does everything like that. So now, for ease sake, we're just going to store all these in this ListView. So I don't know if you guys have seen my ListView tutorial. It's also on my channel. It's pretty simple. But we're just going to be basically taking concepts from that, if I can remember them, of course. And we're going to be storing the processes in there. So we use a for each statement to loop through the process list. We can also use a for statement if you're really into that stuff. But now the process has an associated process name and also has an associated process ID. So I'm not entirely sure how we'd want to store this information in here. I don't know if you guys want to store the name and the ID. But right now, let's see, we have to make a column to do this stuff. Where's the information I need? Probably should have done this previous, but I am lazy. I am very lazy. Okay, so we have our header. Let's just give this name. That's all we really need. Name. I think that I can rename that. Okay. And I believe the list view is just called ListView 1. ListView 1, yes. So ListView 1 .items .add, and we're going to do new ListView item. Actually, we should probably create this ListView item before, because I think I might need to do a few things to it. ListView item. What can we pass it? Pass it string text. Let's pass it process dot process name as the text. Okay. Now, a cool thing about a lot of objects in C# is you can provide them what's known as a tag, and a tag will give that basically like item or whatever object it provides an associated object with it. So we can use this to our advantage since we can only store the names in the list view items, but we also want to store the process that we can actually start it. And since process is an object, we can just set this item.tag equal to process. That's a cute little trick, and actually it might yell at me. Am I missing using directive or assembly reference? What am I doing wrong? Oh, my bad. Forgot to do capital T. Okay. And then we can add this list view item. And if I am not dumb, then it'll work. And this is on form 1 load. Oh god, what did I do? Too many highlights. Right now it won't really do anything if we click anything, but let's just see if it loads it up. What have we done? It appears that I do not know my list views as well as I thought I did. And let's see. I bet it's something wrong with this. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had paused the video right there just so I could figure this out to not waste your time. And I think what I forgot is I forgot to add a column. So I cheated a little bit there, but do not worry. We're going to give it a name column. That's the name. And then we're going to give it name. So I forgot to add this. You just have to specify a column name so that I can actually add things into the column. And this should work now. Excellent. So now we have all these. These are all my processes currently running on my machine. Excellent. And whoops, I added a little bit extra text in there when I was debugging this. Okay. And I believe we can also add a second column if you guys want to put the ID, because you can start and stop processes by ID. That might be the easiest way. But for now, I think this will just work. So let's see. How about we code the stop part? So basically, we're going to want to be able to select things like this, and then we're going to want to be able to hit stop, and then we're going to want to be able to stop that process. So one thing we should probably do to make it a little bit easier is click this, and I believe there's a thing that you can select the entire line. That'll make it much easier to select things. I don't know why I do this, but I'm a little bit... There's multi-select, which we don't want. Okay, I'm just wasting your guys' time. This is probably not a good idea to do. But okay, back to this. One thing we should think about before we do this, though, is that every time we stop a process, we probably want to refresh this list. So this code here, we want to reuse this. So this is a good idea for a method. So let's just do a load process list method, and we can use the cool stuff that generate method stub. And then let's just do a quick cut and paste. And one thing we should probably do before this is clear this out. So now, oh, what did I do? I put this in the stop one. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Okay. So now we can call this from the stop button as well. So we have to get the currently selected one dot items dot selected. Maybe it's not ListView one dot selected items, and that returns, and it's going to be the 0 indice because we're only going to be allowed to select one. ListView item equals ListView one dot selected items with the 0 indice. And then since we know this item as a tag option, we can get the process from that, because remember we stored that earlier here. And we also have to cast it, since it understands it. The tag is a generic object, and we have to cast it to a process object. This would be a good place to do something like error checking to make sure that it is actually an instance of, I believe it's instance of or is instance of is for Java, but you can do something like if item.tag is process, then we cast it. Otherwise, we might run into some nasty stuff, but let's just kind of get rid of that right now. It's not the whole purpose of this. Okay, and then we simply do a process.stop, or a kill, I believe. Yeah, it's much more maniacal than stop. And then we want to load process list back up again, because we want to basically refresh that list, because we have stopped the process. So let's test to see if that works. Whoa, what happened? What happened? Oh, I see what it is. My clear method cleared the entire list view, not the actual items. That was a quick fix. Okay, so let's find something in here that I can kill. I believe I have an instance of Notepad open somewhere. Yep, here it is. Okay. So where's Notepad? I lost it. So this should die once we hit this stop button. Awesome. Did you see that? And it disappeared from this list. So we know everything worked as required. And then, ooh, I forgot something. One more thing to actually end this video. We want to be able to look at the process list also when we start a new thing up. So notepad.exe, start. Now let's see if we can find Notepad. I believe it might be at the bottom. Or maybe not. Maybe if we had put some sort of sorting thing in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Stop. Boom, it's gone. And this is like a cool maybe project you can do to load or start and stop programs. You can make your own launcher. But hopefully this taught you guys a lot about process. I know I had some person emailed me or something about asking for a process video. I just thought that this would be pretty cool to do too. And that's it for this tutorial. If you'd like to know anything else about C#, Java, C++, also I learned, just send me an email, post a comment to my profile, make sure to subscribe. Your subscriptions directly benefit me and help me continue to make these videos. You have no idea. You guys are awesome. And also like my video, that's always something good to do. And visit the websites in my description. I can tell you a bajillion more things to do, but you guys are probably bored, so I will see you guys next time, and this is Quackworth signing out.